Hello everybody and welcome along to another edition of Wrestling Showdown Rewind right here on the W3L network. Thank you as always for joining me, and I know I say this all the time, but thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, do so. It's literally one button click, costs you nothing. You'll click, you'll forget about it, it's great. And if you do hit that subscribe button, not only does it benefit us, but it means that you get notified every Sunday at 12 when we put up a new edition of Wrestling Showdown Rewind, and you also get notified when we put up all the other cool stuff that we bring you here on the network, because we have consistently brought you new programming for week after week after week right here on the network. Who else is doing that? Exactly. So hit the subscribe button, you'll be notified when all these amazing shows go up and you can watch them at your leisure. They're all on the network, go back, watch them. There's hours of fun to be had. And there'll be hours of fun to be had when we bring you some live events. Now these are our current scheduled dates. Obviously that will depend on government restrictions and the like, but currently this is what we've got planned. We'll see how it goes and we'll keep you informed as things change and as we know more about it, but this is what we're hopeful for. We can bring you some live wrestling. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? So come out and see us when these occur, because nothing beats seeing W3L in the flesh. Thank you will obviously go to Crafty Connoisseur. They are sponsoring all of our live events, so thank you to them. Their website is still active. Hunt that down. The link is on the screen there and also on the comments below. And make a purchase from them. They'll send it straight to your door, and if you check out their social media you might find a sneaky little coupon code or two. Just saying. And of course engage with Crafty Connoisseur. Tell them that we said hello, and then the subject of engagement. Why not buy a fan support package? Prices start from only a £5. You can help support us here at W3L until we can bring you live wrestling again. You will get for your money not only dirt cheap ringside tickets, a DVD, a signed poster, and an exclusive video message from my W3L store of your choice. What more could you want? Pick up one of these fan support packages ASAP. Again, prices start from only a £5. They're signed to every budget, and it helps us keep going just until we get things back to normal to bring you more live wrestling. Now, we've been dipping into the archives, that's why this is Wrestling Showdown Rewind. And this week we're going to see two people that we don't see in W3L anymore, kind of. One of these is Danny BOY Rodgers. A lot of people will be setting up into that name. He was one of the finest wrestlers in Scotland, bar none. Never maybe quite got the due that he should have got. But it's great to be able to look back and see the kind of level of skill that he brought to the table. His opponent is the flying mass man Morado, who we don't see Morado anymore, but, well, I'll let Joe Fordyce fill you in that one, I think. So without any further ado, let's get down to ringside as Morado takes on Danny BOY Rodgers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce with you on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. We're having another dip into the extensive W3L archives to see two people that we don't see in W3L anymore. Well, sort of. Certainly down on the floor in the white, that is Danny BOY Rodgers. He is now sadly retired, seemingly for good, from professional wrestling very much. W3L, indeed Scottish Wrestling's loss. Arguably one of the most talented men to come through the W3L Action Academy. Very fond of saying his name, as you've heard. A lot of talent, never managed to hold a championship in W3L, but not through want to try. And certainly one of the very best, but he has a life outside wrestling and his lovely family, so he's focused on looking after them instead of pro wrestling. But again, it's such a shame. His attitude is obviously questionable, as you can probably tell. However, his opponent here, who gets the much better response, you remember El Technico from a few weeks ago here on Rewind. This is his protege Morado. You can see they have a very similar mask, albeit in different colours. But let's get this out the way, and this is no secret, because if you follow W3L, if you know the history of this organisation, you'll be acutely aware of what I'm about to reveal. But the man in that mask, who's currently being backed into the corner by Danny BOY Rodgers, that man in the mask is still with W3L to this day, but nowadays he is the original Craig Stevens. That's right, it's Craig Stevens under that mask, and again, that's not a secret being revealed. Craig Stevens has been quite public about this. He, of course, unmasked, and he has said that this was him finding his feet in pro wrestling. He'd literally just started. This is only his second W3L match on a proper W3L event at this point, and so this is, you're really seeing him right at the start of his career. And of course, Stevens would go on to, like I say, drop the mask. He left W3L in the June of 2016, did Morado, and it was the May of 2018 he came back as Craig Stevens. Obviously he's improved and changed a lot since then. But it's a nice look back at the archives, see as he sets up at a charge across the ring. Referees can just give him a moment to get back in the ring. And then you can see the talent and Morado, as we were calling, because he's wearing that mask, had. Hang on, and again, just being played. Rodgers saying he wants Morado to stay back, and Morado's saying to the referee, like, why are you getting him away? He's on the floor, I should be allowed to go after him. Oh, Rodgers, he went for a punch, he got blocked, and he got smacked. He's now ended up in the ring apron. So it's interesting to see how he's been started out as he's been catapulted in the ring. He has about 4 years experience over Morado, and certainly a sour attitude. Rodgers, his first W3L match in September of 2010 against the Mr. G Mackie, man that Morado would face at Resolution 8 later this very year, 2014. There's a head scissors. Now you can see back then Morado's a lot more agile and flippy, shall we say, than he is these days. Maybe not as powerful as he is nowadays. It's a shoulder block, and this was him again finding his feet. Took the mask off El Technico, and he fell under his ground. And you saw El Technico, saw how good he was, and he was learning, and he liked it. The crowd decide he was a popular man. He faced many WTL's top stars, like Dickie Divers, who we saw recently. He dives in with that shoulder block. He absolutely cannonballed into Danny BOY Rodgers. Nearly wrapped this one up early as well. Another man that Morado faced, had quite a few matches against, was Rory Steele, who you will know would eventually end up teaming with Danny BOY Rodgers relatively regularly. Just ascending the top rope, getting up to generate offense from the turnbuckles. Way back then did Morado, and Rodgers tried to catch him, and he did, but he slipped somewhat, and I think that's the shoulder block. Oh, right in the jaw with that drop kick. I think Rodgers was slightly rattled and lost his footing. Referee going for the cover, but he was enough to knock Morado down anyway. Unfortunately, when you balance on that top rope, the ropes are really narrow, so you can't get a good footing, and the slightest thing can unbalance you, and that's what happened to obviously see Rodgers turning things around. The year prior to this match, Rodgers spent time over in Canada training with Lance Storm, so you can imagine obviously he learned a hell of a lot from him. Did a tryout for 0-1 Pro Wrestling over in Japan. He was not successful to get to go over to Japan, but it was certainly a real good test for him. And also in this later this year, again this is the 2014, he was at a Legends Fan Fest over in the United States. He had a training camp hosted by, let's just shouting at fans, hosted by Dr. Tom Pritchard. So he learned there and competed over in there, and of course wrestled up in Canada when he was training last on. So Danny BOY Rodgers with international experience. Interestingly, as he hits that bulldog. Oh wait, goes for a cover now. Morado's just going to do it. Oh, not quite yet. His name, Danny BOY Rodgers, comes from Danny Collins, Danny Boy Collins, who's in British wrestling. He's trained under him as well. And Rodgers, he travelled all over the place, up and down the country, wrestling for not just W3L but other promotions in Scotland as well, and of course internationally. And really was like one of the best WTL has produced. It's a shame he's not around. I think as he hits a lovely drop kick, I mean, he's justifiably proud of that. You can understand why he goes to that cover. If Rodgers stuck around, His last match in W3L was on Wrestling Showdown in October 2017, challenging for the Tag Team Championship. I think if he'd stuck around a year or two more, I could easily have seen him being part of NXT UK. But unfortunately, his leaving kind of was slightly before that came into being. He certainly had all the abilities. Who knows if he'll come back? But it's again a bit of a poorer place. His attitude notwithstanding, I mean, Danny BOY Rodgers really had a good word to say about anybody, but certainly had a lot of talent as he drops a leg and a second one. He's so quick at these. And got some great elevation, covering Morado. Maybe could have put a little more pressure over the left shoulder there. But Rodgers fond of yelling his name. Resolution 8. He had challenged for the Tag Team Championship. When Wrestling Showdown in June of 2015, he had a very well received no disqualification match against Mike Russo. It's one worth checking out. It was a very good match. Resolution 10 is part of the Golden Ticket ladder match as well. Actually, the year before Resolution 9, which is the year after this match, Morado had, who holds up the ropes, a bit of a shocker. He was supposed to be part of the Golden Ticket ladder match as well. It was Sanctuary, Kevin Williams and him, you know, 4 ways. Oh, hang on, a victory roll. Not a bad move for a man as inexperienced as Morado there, as he comes back with a back elbow. Unfortunately, Morado was attacked before the match by Blondie Barrett and was rendered unable to compete. So he didn't even get to compete in the match. Barrett attacked him and he had to basically leave. Morado didn't get the chance to compete. So I know that's always sat ill with him, and that's probably part of the reason why he these days has such a sour attitude. They're just setting up in the turnbuckles here. Again, it's so interesting seeing these dips in the archives, seeing how people used to be. We've got to revisit Musso versus Reynolds, one of the great rivalries. What a superplex! That's not pleasant in the W3L ring. Again, from Morado's second match on a proper W3L event. He's doing pretty well for himself. Can he survive this superplex, however? Well, he did. Rodgers, I think, he got maybe a little breath knocked out of him. He's only had an arm draped across. Of course, as time rolled on, Morado battled some of the top stars in WTL. He and Nathan Mills, that a lovely tag team match on Showdown at one point. And yeah, they quite well for himself, but he began to maybe feel he wasn't getting the victories that he should have done. Maybe felt that he could be doing other things. Oh, Rodgers crashed and burned there, launched himself at Morado, who was right out of the way. And Morado would eventually kind of start changing his attitude. He started wrestling outside the W3L and a couple of those other places, started breaking the rules. Went under El Rudo for a while to reflect some more rule breaking tactics. And they lost a mask versus mask match. As it gets folded, look at this, Northern Light suplex, nearly wraps this one up. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before Morado stopped being a masked man. Let's be honest, considering what he's done with himself, such as turning to WTL in May of 2018, he made totally the right move. A couple of years out when he went travelling and, you know, focused on himself, it has done Stevens the power of good. As he charges right into Danny BOY Rodgers. Look at those ropes so they wouldn't be able to stand upright and gets clotheslined to the floor, showing some of the power he's noted for these days. Always had a ton of enthusiasm with Morado. He went for a dive earlier and the referee got in the way. Is it going to happen this time? And he nails him. A lovely tope through the ropes. Wipes out Danny BOY Rodgers. A wooden floor, not pleasant at all to land on. And Morado crashed heavily down upon Rodgers. That's what Danny BOY was trying to avoid earlier on. Just telling the referee to keep Morado back. And he did, but this time Morado nailed him. Is this going to be enough to wrap up the contest in favour of the masked man? Not quite yet. Danny BOY Rodgers still with fight left in him. Morado, it's interesting at times like this because again, you're only your second match. He's done a lot of training at W3L. Obviously, El Technico's taken under his wing. He's been at events to see El Technico in action and the like as Rodgers pulls him down, going for the cover. That kick out. So Morado finally get the chance to wrestle, and when things don't quite go your way and you have to think on your feet, sometimes when your second match can be difficult, because like, what do? Do you have enough wherewithal? As he went for a body press, but Rodgers caught him and sits out as he slams him down. Oh, this is going to end it, I'm sure. Wow, Morado showing some tenacity here. Rodgers saying it was 3. Not very happy with this at all. Now again, you are only in your second match. You're also wearing a mask, so think about it, a lot of your senses. Is Rodgers went for a quebrada and Morado moved right out the way. Your senses getting impaired, your sight, your hearing, sense of smell as well. But it's worked out for him so far. Morado's done pretty well for himself. Oh, Rodgers reached up and kicked him there. Again, Morado's eyes have got a mesh over them, so his vision is slightly obscured. And that's what allowed Rodgers to get that kick in, but Morado, a shot to the kidneys there. Having the wherewithal to try and fight Rodgers off. And a headbutt. Would it be beyond me to suggest that mask might be loaded? No, I don't think so. It's not really Morado's type of thing. Oh, hold on! Dives down the pole, a splash off the top turnbuckle, flattens Rodgers, look, he's hooked the leg, and he's scored himself a pinfall victory. What a great result for Morado in only his second ever match in W3L. Pins Danny BOY Rodgers, no easy task, but a great victory for the masked man here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Morado gets the victory over Danny BOY Rodgers, and as I'm sure you hear, Morado's still around these days. Well, not as Morado, but you know what I mean. But what a great look back in the archives. It's been good, isn't it? Nice to see Danny BOY Rodgers one more time. Now, as I mentioned, these are our current scheduled dates. Hopefully we can bring you more than that, but obviously it'll all depend on lockdown restrictions and how the government decides to do things. Currently this is what we've got planned, but we will keep you informed. So when these events happen, come out and see us, because what we've seen W3L live? Exactly nothing. And Crafty Corner so will be on board when we are back bringing you live wrestling. They're sponsoring all of our live events. Look them up, tell them we settle, we'll make a purchase from their website and get a fan support package that helps you help us here at W3L. Price from only a £5. Ringside tickets, DVDs, posters, video messages, you name it, you get it all. You can pick up one of those fan support packages from our website, W3LWrestling.com. Send it to the mailing list while you are there. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us on Instagram, subscribe to this channel, use that hashtag, and come back next week. We'll have another dip in the archives, another edition of Rewind. I will tell you that it is 2 wrestlers back by popular demand. Which 2? You'll find it next week right here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.